Alright guys, I've been trying to make this video for a few weeks now. One of my biggest scores of 2023 happened right at the end of the year. And we're going to check out what that is. "2023 was one of the best years for my collection. So much stuff happened in 2023. We got the Mario statue, the Link statue, the N64 kiosk, the World of Nintendo cabinet, the Super Nintendo kiosk, the NES cabinet, which I thought was going to be the last big score of the year. But then I'm sitting there at lunchtime at 11 o'clock. I hadn't went to lunch yet. My boss went to lunch. And it was a slow day, so he ended up letting everyone else go in the shop. So it was just me at work. And I get a message showing me this item. And they were asking $400 for this thing. And the way it looked at first, I had no idea what it was. I kind of thought it was something custom made, but it looked kind of cool. And then I saw the Nintendo on the side of it, and I was like, man, I really want to get this. And I waited anxiously for my boss to get back from lunch, and I had to beg him to let me leave work so I could drive an hour away and go get this thing. So my boss ends up letting me leave work, and I message a guy and I'm like, hey, please don't sell this on me. I'm driving quite a long way to come and get it. And he lived out in the country, so it took me a while to find his house, but once I got out there, he came out and greeted me, took me down to his basement. He ended up being a collector. He had a bunch of Neo Geo stuff down there, Dreamcast kiosk, and at this point, seeing that he was a collector, I was surprised that he was only asking $400 for this cabinet that he was selling. I ended up getting this thing for $350. And when I brought it home, that's when everything started unfolding. I realized that this wasn't just a Nintendo cabinet. This is a super rare version of the Nintendo 64 kiosk. So as you can see here, this looks nothing like it did when I first picked it up. If you look right there, it has the original key with it. And I also added the glass to the bottom of this. The TV came from my tabletop N64 kiosk, which I've since sold since I realized that this was a Nintendo 64 kiosk, and they use the same exact TV, and I'll show you how I know that here in a minute. I also have the controller arms on the way, and that center sticker, you can see where there's a little fade there where there used to be a sticker. I have that on the way as well. So I'm slowly rebuilding this back into a Nintendo 64 kiosk, and I'm also trying to figure out where I can get a marquee made that will fit up here, because that is still the custom Nintendo logo that the previous owner had on it. So in here, you can see there's the console. This console actually came from my other N64 kiosk, and you can see it's locked down because I took the console locks off the tabletop kiosk as well. They fit in the same exact location. And the TV also, it's gonna be hard to see, but it has the same exact mount holes as the tabletop did. This came with instructions. You can see this is the NES M18R1. If you look at the TV right there on the front, that is the exact TV that I have on it now. This shelf I added in here, I got this power strip in here which powers everything. The white cord back there goes to the light on the top here. And then of course I got the TV and the N64 plugged in. And then this plug here, when I plug it in, it turns on the World of Nintendo cabinet next to it. I mean, what a huge bonus just having the original key is. Man, most of the time you find kiosks, they do not have the original key. And that just made it that much more cool. thing is in excellent shape. It is just gorgeous, and to get it for $350 is mind-blowing. Another cool thing about it is if you look in the holes here, they still have the controller arm mounts. So I'm gonna be able to easily mount the controller arms right up to it. And it's gonna be a fully functional kiosk. So down here are the glass shelves that I made. These are made of plexiglass, and cutting the glass was the easy part. The hard part was making track guides that slide across the original track. Originally I tried to make them out of wood, and they're so thin that they kept splitting. So what I ended up doing was taking some leftover plexiglass, gluing two pieces together and cutting the same shape out of the plexiglass that I did the wood. And now they're able to slide across the tracks like they were original. The only thing I need to do is add some handles on it to make it easier to grab. That's going to be easier. I've only had so much time to work on this. Like I said, I've been working on getting the controller arms and everything. I'm also trying to have the original logos that go on the door up here. And yeah, these track runners, they work great. I am not disappointed. It took a lot of trial and error, a lot of time in the garage, messing around, getting frustrated, breaking the track runners, but it was all worth it in the end. And another cool thing about this kiosk is it came with these two original shelves here as well. And it's nice that those weren't stripped out with everything else. So if you look right here, you can see Nintendo 64 on the TV itself. And that is an original Nintendo 64 kiosk TV. So this was my final pickup of 2023, and I cannot complain. This was my best score of the year after I thought I was already done collecting stuff for the year. It was just epic to find this thing, and for so cheap. So where the new Nintendo 64 kiosk sits used to be where my old one sat, and I ended up selling the old one for $2,000. Well, $1,800 plus a $200 complete in box N64 game, after I had taken the TV and console off of it. So it was just a good deal all around. Man, this thing is so cool. I was so excited to finally be able to make this video and show you guys this awesome N64 kiosk. So I'm actually a little intimidated by 2024 because I feel like there's no way that I'm gonna be able to top 2023. 2023 was just an amazing year for the collection, especially after I sold off a huge chunk of my collection in 2021. This was the year that brought my collection back to a serious collection. But it doesn't mean I'm not gonna try. So hopefully 2024 is a great year just like 2023. So as I continue working on the N64 kiosk, I'll make an update video, or hopefully it'll be at least in my 2024 game room tour video. But if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to subscribe, and I'll be bringing you more videos like this. Until next time, I'm Gamer Wayne, and thanks for watching.